All right, here's a couple of questions with vertices. I'm not sure what the question asks, and probably just what the vertex is. So if the polynomial or the quadratic is written in this form, that's called the vertex form. So the vertex form is supposed to look like this. And this one looks like that. So f of x equals negative x plus 5 squared. Um, but there's no number at the end there. So if there's no number, I would assume it's just be 0. So I can just look at this and say, hey, the vertex is, change this sign, so minus 5, and keep that number as is. So that's what the vertex is. Now, if you want, you can FOIL that out like you were doing. So you'd have x plus 5 times x plus 5. I like to write those out, though, rather than just trying to do it in my head, especially with this, if you have a number or a sign out front. So what you want to do is I would multiply all that stuff first, and then multiply everything by a negative. So keep that negative out. Now we'll multiply this. So x squared plus 5x plus another 5x plus 25. And then I can simplify, collect these two inside there. And then I can apply the negative. So it'll be negative x squared minus 10x minus 25. And I think that's where you went off the rails there. So now if you want, like you did over there, to figure out the vertex, it'd be minus b over 2a. So that's a minus a negative 10 over 2 times negative 1. So that's going to be 10 over negative 2 or negative 5, exactly what you have right there. And then when you plug it in, this is good. And then this is good. But right there, that sign should be a negative 25. And if you have a negative 25, then the number that comes out there would be 0. Okay, so that one. And then here's another one. Looking for the vertex of this, it's already written in the vertex formula, so you don't have to multiply it out. If they're looking for the vertex, just leave it like that. And then they say the vertex is negative 1 and 5, so negative 1 and 5 right there. If that's the vertex, also the 3 is positive, and so the graph has to go up like that. And that tells me that there are going to be no x-intercepts. So when I do the quadratic formula here, I better come up with a negative number underneath the square root sign, which looks like you did. Now you could maybe simplify what you did there. I won't check this part, but if you came up with this, root of 60 is the same as root of 4 times root 15 times square root of negative 1 all over 6. So I'd have minus 6 plus or minus 2 root 15, and anytime you see the square root of negative 1, you can call that an I, all over 6. And then 2 will divide into all of these terms. Or you can treat that 6 on the bottom as the lowest common denominator. So rewrite it as minus 6 over 6 plus or minus 2 root 15 I over 6. These cancel, so it'd be a negative 1 plus or minus 2 goes into both of those, so I'd have root 15 I over 3. All right, hopefully that helps with those two questions.